We are out yet again. And today's main goal is wood. Old G Noel, the incompetent rock hound, wants wood. And be very quiet, just like Elmer Fudd. Got some really nice wood. Okay. That looks like a really nice piece right there. Let's see, just pick that up. See what that looks like. Oh, this is Agate, dude. See Agate? It's like blue forest kind of stuff. Look at that. I gotta be quiet. He'll be down here. He knows that there's some wood up by him because this one's down here. I'll take you along. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Should you be mine? Anyway, I've got a couple of pieces. What I've found through the course of time is petrified wood just really is sneaky material. It really is. But again, see, this is more in this area more common. But it's a nice piece. I like it when they have the bark look on the at least one side of them. So this is a nice piece. But you can see, I mean, I've been walking quite a ways. I've left my pack and I have worked all above it. You can see a little shard of it right there. There's one right there that you can see. But these are just little pieces.
Somebody has his pack off and is flying down there with a fine-tooth comb. This is when the incompetent rock hunter makes his move and sees what buds get on. Better head out.
So we're after more larger, more display type pieces. There's one right here, or more complete. There's one right there. He's kind of nice. He's a quarter round maybe. I might put him in the bag, but we're on a little spot right here, and ooh, this is not staged. We actually might have found something here. Oh, get the shadow out of the road. Well, you can see the piece right there. All right, let's see how he's almost. You can just see how difficult it is to get a perfect. And I like it when they start getting more complete. They just, when they see, this one's got that bark. You see, just so when they get exposed, you only got a certain period of time, and through frost wedging that breaks down the mountains, well, it's breaking down your nice petrified wood. But hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Working hard, but the old saying, put your feet in my shoes and have fun with it. I'm trying my best, because hopefully somebody, when I can't do this anymore, will actually get out and look for the undiscovered material. And not heavily trafficked areas. There's all sorts of fun, but it sure is neat to discover. As long as you know and you've never been told X marks the spot, there actually is a discovery. It's a discovery that you can put in your pocket. If somebody's told you to go to this spot or this exact canyon or this and that, well, it's kind of a hollow discovery. You discover the piece, but the most difficult part is to actually discover where the heck these pieces live. So, follow along. Sorry for breathing. It's a little steep. Well, I've went above it, kind of savoring the moment is what I call it. The opening of a Christmas present. So down in there, you can see my pack. That's the epicenter of what I was showing you just a few moments ago. That's the bass fisherman in me. Most people would be elated by finding what I just stumbled in on. If you were, especially if your goal was to, here's a nice little waterline agate right there. Kind of pretty. He will be savored to the rock gods. We have to contribute to the rock gods. But anyway, when we was pre-fishing bass tournaments, you would always, if you found fish, believe me, we did things like fish with bent hooks. So we could not hook the fish. Now, we'd have a rod, and then sometimes it'd be the rod that actually could hook fish. But to see potentially what size, you get to where you actually, it sounds far-fetched, but it's real. You actually can tell the size of a fish by the way it feels. And it's such a learned feel. But on a bass, they're a sight fish or sight feeder. They do not have a very good sense of taste. Trout's way different, but a bass, he'll hold on to a chunk of plastic. Now you can entice him a little bit with some of the scents that are offered, but so if we wanted to know what size of fish was in an area, we would actually cast with a hook and then stick a fish is what we would call it. Bring him in, look at it and say, hey, that's what I was thinking we were filling. Then if we knew we had a lot of fish in front of us, with that turned down hook, we would actually try different baits, greens, blues, all sorts of different types of plastic grubs. And the interesting part about that is sometimes you think, hey, look at this. They really like this. But then actually you put on something that they really like and they rip your rod right out of your hand and refuse to let it go. Then you know you have location and the proper bait. So that's what was going on here is I'm actually going and looking before I settle in. I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything. So there's not a deposit that I can tell up here. So I got to go back to that area, that little epicenter down there, and actually kind of start to maybe, ooh, got something here. I think that's kind of a strike slip material. It kind of fools you. But that right there. So I haven't went miles and miles away because I know that pretty much a lot of the stuff that I've seen down there, I know I'm going to be able to find the best material and fill my daily limits. So I just want to tell that little story because it's true. And then once you learn some of those behaviors and then start applying it to a lot of things, college, for example, it actually showed me some of the classes I thought was a waste of time. Philosophy, humanities, it would teach you deductive reasoning, to think outside the box. And it's a shame that sometimes we seem as a population to get all bandwagoned up into one thought process. But the most powerful courses that I ever had was the ones that was teaching you to think outside the box, think for yourself, do things. I don't know if the curriculum has changed since I was in college. See, now we're starting to get back into the material. Right there, there's a nice chunk, but look at this. There's a chunk, there's all this little float, and then we have something that is barely poking its head out. That could be the material of the material right there that we're really looking for. That is good stuff down here. But the best could be the one that's barely exposed itself to the environment. So let's see what the heck we got underneath that dirt. See how black that, it's like charcoal that's encasing this. It is hanging in there. You can see it's trying to make a round, but I would say that's about a half. It is pretty good material. As I said, the water line, the frost in this area, we put our footings on our houses down 3 feet. Well, up here it's probably more like about 4 feet. So it's still going through the process of fracturing, water wedging, but it's possibly that it just doesn't take the beating. The cycles aren't near as rough, but I wanted to see, I see that a lot of times, that bed of charcoal, even around agatized, and a lot of the neat agates, like this right there, actually possibly the cavity that let the minerals congregate in might have really been started by a piece of wood. And instead of taking a wood form, it kind of takes its own, goes its own path. So I said, somebody knows more than me. Remember, this is called an evolution for a reason, because we are always evolving. I wish I could have you along every time I'm extracting one, but oh, it's hot. Be real tough. You can see these nice collection of wood here. And I'm just kind of slowly going through. We can go up in here and we'll pick a couple of them together that I haven't rolled out. One person said, it looked like there was a prehistoric lumberjack cutting them in blocks. Well, that's what it looks like. And if you think about the living heck that these things went through, hell is what I would call it, through the course of time, and uplifts and earthquakes and all of that, well, that's what makes a big, nice, long piece very precious. I've never went to the Blue Forest. It is on my to-do list. If I could just run out, have new discoveries at home base. And so I don't know. I look and I see and I think there's some nice material over there. It's got a blue petroidal on it. People have watched it. But are the people that I'm watching really giving it a good representation, or are they just kind of mealing around and not really doing it not to be crazy, the evolution style? But it's hot. It's getting about, it's already probably a little over 80 degrees. It's plenty hot out here. But, wow, let's go over here and gather this one up. So this shadow is just kicking my rear end. See, it gives you the illusion of being around, but it really isn't. But I'm having a pretty tough time. You'd have to get pretty crazy with it to actually, and down and deep. I said it could be up to 4 feet just to get, put it this way, safe from a human life. There's been one earthquake that I know of, so just to get away from the 39 years that I've been on the planet's frost wedging. Every spring, every fall, hard freeze in the winter, then every spring, every fall, every frosty morning. It's trying. What do you think them sidewalks start looking all cracked up? Through the course of time, same thing. And these things have to live through it. And that's pretty tough for it. So, my gosh, what a heck of a thing. It's fun. At least I don't have to walk all over Heckingon. I went and I hit pay dirt right out of the gate, so still might. Oh, old G, he's up there. He doesn't know what I found down here, so hey, let's keep it quiet. Remember Fudd. We's hunting agates. We's hunting wood. Uh-oh, he made it through the tripwire. Just settle to get that bag out of there. You ain't.
Yes. You can't pack all that off the hill.
Well, you can't stay. You got to stay within limit. I sell and then you pack. But no, he thinks he might have found a great big monster stump.
Looking for some more of that wood and found this thing. This thing is massive. That's not a hammer, that's a full-sized pick. And you can see it's got, but it feels to me like the whole thing is agatized wood. But it's massive.
Big monster stump. Like I said, I have no clue what type of material this truly is as far as what species of tree. Have no flying clue. All I know is it's a tree. And it's went through a lot of time and worked itself to smithereens. So, but old G, he's bagging up. So here this second, he's had a little of that. I slipped a little, maybe something in his water last night.
I am feeling a little groggy.
A little groggy. Oh, by the way, notice how he's not really wearing that hat anymore? He gave her a whirl the other day. You know, something about that deductive reasoning. You know, his number one complaint was he felt like the flying nun or Dumbo. When the wind gets to blowing, all of a sudden that nice little Daisy May hat there on Golden Pond starts flapping, taking him off because it's flapping so hard. Yeah, I seen that one right off. We're gonna film old Gene Ole doing some extracting here. He come up to the, remember when I filmed that epicenter? I think we've got a really nice piece that's really holding its integrity. He's gonna have to get pretty aggressive with it and take some of the overburden off the top there. It's a lot easier filming my bud rooting than filming myself rooting. Working it. I don't even know how archaeologists can do it. He's wearing me out and I'm just joining the party here and there. You see the little shards that's popping around. It's the dangest thing. It's like you can see grains where his hand is right there. We keep finding these pieces. Yeah, it's wood. It's definitely wood sitting all around there. We can't quite figure out what in the world's going on with that. but it feels kind of rock-like above there where that razorback is. Now look at all the, it's really interesting how you just sit there and all of it just looks like charcoal. And I wonder if you actually took some of that, if it would actually have a little bit of that charcoal orientation to it. Because this, it really kind of even almost has a texture of hard charcoal, coal. Not necessarily charcoal, but coal. So that's what it seems like, it appears to be. This piece is wearing us out. It just keeps coming up in shards. Like I said, it's so similar to, I think we can't tell if we're kind of a little bit on a wild goose chase or what. Bud's about wore out. It's just, yeah, it's wood. I don't know what the heck. Look at it all right there, just kind of poking out, and the little veins and stuff. Well, maybe another time on the evolution, we'll extract it, come over here and work on this dang thing, but you just can't see, and the soil's not super hard.
It just keeps fracturing.
Yeah, it just keeps on. Said I just don't have the patience to spend all day working on that. Might have to. I watched some, like I said, the Blue Forest might really test the evolution, because I don't know if I can sit there and spend days extracting something out of there. I might have to learn a little bit, not so much running, gunning, but throwing anchor and letting and sit. But it's not the style of the evolution. The evolution's a run and gun. New discoveries. That once the discovery is made, well, it was nice. You put it in your satchel of information, and you continue on to the next discovery. But as you've seen, the evolution can fall back and make some pretty interesting material. And as you can see what he's extracted out of there, there's just a whole slew of big, nice petrified. It has just a pinch of a blue agate in it. You can see it just sitting there shining. It's just a pinch of a blue agate. Little blue veins and stuff. You get this all cleaned up, but some of these bigger pieces are very solid. But boy, to get one that's long and complete, that is the treasure within the treasures, for sure. You can even see a little bit of, see even a little bit of a blue coming out right there by his hands. He's down to dang and determined, but he's a little bitter at this. Got a pile of conglomerate he's coming up with his coal. Now we can't tell what that razorback is. Is it a dang rock merged in there with the wood and fracturing and uplifted into it? I have no flying clue. Well, my gosh. The evolution sees a lot of back of Noel's head, but he is a digging machine. Paleontologists, archaeologists, holy Toledo. They have a lot of patience. Well, my bud, he says,
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I had a good day.
to me, I like the saying today, see the sweat on the brow? If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. See you later.